We've seen through the history of X Factor that people who win are never necessarily the biggest stars. So Ollie Murs didn't win, One Direction didn't win, Susan Boyle didn't win Britain's Got Talent.
The winner of Britain's Got Talent 2009 is... Diversity!
Not winning another of Cowell's talent machines obviously didn't hurt Susan Boyle's career, but the woman with that voice nearly caused her own downfall. The well-documented battle with her inner demons had threatened to overpower her journey to success. And even when she turned up to audition, she was already battle-weary after years of fighting.
I remember Susan Boyle from all her early Michael Barrymore appearances. She used to turn up for every single audition, for every show we ever did.
Now at the Glasgow auditions, this unassuming woman waited patiently for her turn to be judged yet again.
A little nervous.
Yeah, sure, no.
Yeah, well, that's not surprising, but, try...
I got fighting, would you know?
When this spinster from Scotland stepped out on stage, the audience were watching slack-jawed, thinking, what on earth are we going to be seeing here?
All right, what's your name, darling?
My name is Susan Boyle.
OK, Susan, and where are you from?
I am from Blackburn, near Bathgate, West Lothian.
She's 48 years old. She's kind of dressing, with all due respect to Susan, like a 70-year-old, has this incredibly old-fashioned image.
What's the dream?
I'm trying to be a professional singer.
You just see people start rolling their eyes, and I'm pretty sure we were sitting at home doing the exact same thing. Here we go, giggling at the fact, like she was saying, I've got a cat called Pebbles and stuff like that. We just found it hilarious, She was like, she's great for the show, it's what Britain's Got Talent's all about.
She was just focused on what she was doing, and I don't think she was really paying much attention to the audience.
Who would you like to be as successful as?
Elaine Page.
Elaine Page.
Or she is not in the normal mode of singer, highly successful singer, talent show winner. She's not in that mode at all. But that voice, I reckon all the angels laid aside their harps and listened.
I dreamed a dream in time gone by.
You just didn't expect that, did you? Did you? No.
It's difficult for anyone to audition in those gladiatorial arenas. There's 3,000 people looking at you. Plus you've got Cowell and the others glaring down at you. You know they're going to pronounce on how good or bad you were. It must be nerve-wracking beyond belief.
And yet, in this harshest of arenas, Susan sang as if her life depended on it.
Talk about TV gold. If Simon had been given a list and he had to tick off all the boxes of something he wanted, somebody who he'd never expect to be that good, their background wasn't anything to do with showbiz, and it would astound everybody like that. It was the perfect audition.
When you stood there with that cheeky grin and said, I want to be like Elaine Page, everyone was laughing at you. No one is laughing now. That was stunning, an incredible performance.
It was a landmark moment in television when Susan Boyle appeared on that Britain's Got Talent stage.
Susan Boyle, you can go back to the village with your head held high. It's 3 S's.
As soon as they showed the audition on the telly, everybody wanted to see her. People were coming from all over the world to her house. Film crews from Japan were knocking at her door, and people were interviewing her from Canada and America.
Demi Moore and Ashton Kutcher were tweeting about Susan Boyle. It was uploaded onto YouTube.
I think initially Susan loved it.
It's very surreal. It's almost you feel as if it's not really happening to you.
It was great. It was what she wanted. She wanted to be a famous singer, and she already just was a famous singer, just like that.
But Susan was about to discover what being famous really meant, and her demons weren't going to give her the inner peace she so needed as she approached the live shows.
The impact of the live shows really were scary for Susan, and I think that's when it probably went a bit wrong, when we all probably realised it was a bit much for her.
Because she'd been tucked away on a housing estate in Scotland with these dreams, and she was a complex character and not without her issues, and here she was in front of all these people.
When I first applied for Britain's Got Talent, I never really realised it would be sitting here, being in the final.
She wasn't prepared for it. None of us were prepared for it.
In just a few short weeks, Susan had gone from anonymity to being the name on everyone's lips.
She was a global phenomenon at the time. Everybody, you couldn't turn on TV, you couldn't look in a newspaper, you couldn't go online without seeing Susan Boyle.
But she was troubled, and now, on the cusp of finally triumphing, her behaviour was becoming increasingly erratic.
Well, she must have been a bag of nerves. So nervous, in fact, she almost didn't turn up for the final.
I did feel that I wanted to look after Susan, and I did feel that I wanted to kind of get her through it.
Of Britain's Got Talent 2009 is diversity!
When they said our name, it was like, no, what's just happened? I think half the group starts crying. Pell, you just wandered around the stage. She's going, I don't know. And then all this while poor little Susan was there like, okay, fair enough, second place.
How do you feel right now?
The best people won.
In the aftermath of her whirlwind time on Britain's Got Talent, the humble lassie from Scotland was struggling to cope, and just 48 hours after losing, Susan was rushed to the Priory Mental Health Clinic.
Have these shows put vulnerable people into highly pressurised situations that they shouldn't be in? Should they have put Susan Boyle into that position? It's hard to say, but with hindsight, thank God they did. They did her a massive favour, obviously.
The last 18 months have been like a whirlwind and absolutely fantastic.
On X Factor, others weren't so lucky. The novelty